What's going on, traders? Welcome back to day 23 of 25 days of trading. Make sure you go back and watch all the previous days if you haven't already, and stick around for these last few. Today I want to talk about chasing breakouts. It's really just more times than not a trap. We have to know how the amateur trader thinks, and many times it's the worst price to be buying at. We'll see very strong moves, unlike this one, where you could just close your eyes and buy it. There's so many buyers in control. But yes, you make money, but instilling that bad habit that market just often run like that is not the reality. That we want to position our price before the trade becomes too obvious. That's where my pullback strategy comes in, and all of it is available for free for your first month if you head to ASFX TV or the link down below to get your first month free. But let's just look at this choppy New York Open here, that we finally are respecting these VWAPs all morning, and we finally get the breakout. Okay, finally. I mean, here we go. Buyers are in control. And you buy it way up there because now it looks so enticing and so appealing that buyers are in. This thing's going to run, right? There's no saying that this has to run higher. It looks like buyers are in control, yes. But where do I make most of my money? It's not just following the crowd when it looks super obvious. My job is to try to get positioned before this move happens and capture this move itself. Not then see that on the table. Okay, now you convinced me to go long. Let's go higher, right? Breakout's almost just like confirming my idea of, okay, we're moving in my direction. I don't want to have to see the breakout to be like, okay, and now I want to be a buyer. No, I need to figure out a way to want to be a buyer before it becomes too obvious. So I let this go. Buyers make a new high. It pulls back to VWAP. Okay, before we really made a move and exhausted ourselves, let's get positioned in the longs with a good stop loss at the low. That if this pops back up, that's my money. Not seeing it pop back up and now get involved, right? Let's take a look at another example here. Here's the breakout of an opening range high. I don't recommend chasing the first break of it. You'll see them like this where you're like, what are you talking about? I can make money in that. Again, consistency wise, it often doesn't run like this, but this is like one of those mornings where if you just close your eyes and buy it, chasing breakouts, yeah, you're probably going to make money. But on the days when it doesn't just rip like that and it turns right back around, you're like, oh, what just happened? That paid me yesterday. Why not today? So more times than not, what can I do to be in control? I know I want to be a buyer. So before this thing really leaves the station, let me get involved. And then I'm capturing the pop where now amateurs are going to jump in at the top. And what do they often do? They lose money. So I don't want to be involved if they're now jumping in because it's probably going to want to pull back, right? It's the same thing with up here. We have a breakout. It looks like it wants to break out towards these highs. Let me get in long. It's not done pulling back. It comes back to VWAP, which is where I do want to be positioned because that's often where we slow and find bounces. I have plenty of videos on that if you go back in this series. And then I'll position myself, right? So the idea is getting close to VWAP as possible on a pullback, but often with my strategy, you'll see I want to trade back into structure. So what I mean by that is if I'm long at this VWAP on a pullback, let's just trade back to where we just were. So also, if that concept is here, if I'm buying it there, I want to trade back to where we were, that's right there. I mean, that's not really a trade that I see of like, oh, great risk reward. That's really worth it to try to chase. So when I get a lower price and better risk reward to this high, all right, it's maybe a little bit more worth it, right? You look on these days, again, just drifting. I mean, here's the breakout. It does give some small pullbacks, though, so you don't want to just be buying it anywhere. Again, with a good stop loss, you probably realistically hold through all this and able to make money no matter how you buy it. But I have to show you guys the extreme days, but don't get that twisted that that's every single morning that if I just chase highs, it often rewards me, right? Because you even look at it here, 5 candles straight up. You buy it, you should hold through that technically, but look how much longer it takes to finally work out in your favor. You just sit through 40 minutes of drawdown, maybe even longer, to finally get back to your entry price, and now we move higher. So if I can get it on a pullback, find a way to buy it down here before it pops, see this come in, then capture the move, it's a lot less stressful because you're getting in before the next move happens, not getting in, waiting, this last move's still going on, let's hope I survive the pullback. Okay, let's go back higher, right? You'll see it on here. This is the first break of open range high. Could it keep going higher? Could I have bought it here? I could have bought it there, made money. Okay, let me just get in. Nope, I can't chase breakouts. I know this probably wants to pull back at some point. Every amateur right now is jumping into the longs because they're afraid it's just going to keep on skyrocketing without them. So we're probably going to have a pullback soon. So let me just be patient for it. Where does it return to? The VWAP. Okay, now I want to be positioned because we've cooled off a little bit. It wasn't just 100% buyers. Sellers showed their hand a little bit, slowed us down, but now buyers are holding this VWAP again. So I know I want to be a buyer. All right, let's get involved and trade it back up to those highs. Now I'm not chasing anything. I let the trade come to me literally for 40 minutes. It came back lower. Now I'm in. All right, let's go back higher, right? But if I'm just chasing breakouts, yeah, sometimes it'll pay you, but consistently you'll chase breakouts. You'll take a loss, take a win, take a loss, give it back, right? That's not really taking you anywhere. So you have to see these opens, these strong ones, of saying, what do you say? If I chase the breakout there, I make so much money. What are you talking about, right? Chase that breakout. After this small little pullback, go chase new lows. It doesn't happen. So more times than not, consistency. I want to be at this VWAP because I know more consistently I could find better bounce plays, take less losses, and get a better price. That's all it's about. Every amateur is going to now follow in, if they're not already in it from up here, right, from this New York VWAP. Now let's let it return. All right, let's get loaded back in before the move happens again and runs without me, right? And it's the same thing applies. I'm going to counterintuitive myself, but if I sell it there, once it finally does break lower, you could scalp that for sure. But on this day, you could have. But on every day or most days, slower trending days, probably not. So that's really not a price you want to be interested in selling it at. You want to be closer to these VWAPs. I have so many videos on the bounces and the key levels that these trade off of. So just seeing breakouts as that's not for me. The old me would have chased that. I mean, we all would have. This big red bar saying, oh my God, look at all those sellers in that. I need to be in now. This thing's going to run. As soon as you think that, it's probably not going to run. It's probably going to turn back around, stop you out, and still fall back lower like you had thought. But it's not on the timetable that you thought because, again, it wasn't ready to break out. So that's why I want to be positioned when it's loading up at this VWAP. Saying, all right, we often move from here. So I don't want to then chase away from it because I know it probably wants to pull back to it, which is where I'd actually want to short it from, right? So I think you really want to get used to seeing pullbacks come in, see the level respected. You get a way better price and less stressful, right? Because also you feel stressed. At least I did. When you're chasing breakouts, if I buy it up here, where is your stop loss? First of all, I don't even know where that would make sense, right? Do you have it here? Because that wouldn't really invalidate any trade. Do you have it even lower? Then now if you're buying it up here with like a stop loss way down there, depending on how scalpy you are, where's your profit target? Like, are you shooting for like up there to get close to 1-to-1? Because then you don't get it. That's like, yes, it goes higher from your entry price, but did you close it up there perfectly? Probably not. Because, I mean, if you did, it was like a 20-point stop to go make 6 points. Not really worth it. I'd rather risk 60, go get 60 or go get 70, right? So not only is it just stressful chasing breakouts because you're like, I need a new high, I need another new high, and another new high, and another one. Please don't turn back around because my stop loss is right here. That stop loss makes no sense. Where this trade, it's slower. The stop loss would kill my idea of saying, yeah, you don't want to be long anymore. So that gives me peace to sit through it saying, you know what? Well, if I lose, I know I don't want to be a buyer anymore. That's valuable information. If you take a loss in a breakout, the only valuable information is that you shouldn't have chased a breakout, right? You might still want to be a buyer. So those are the trades that I like when it invalidates it. We went over this one. Let's go over one more. It's the same idea. Hopefully no one's chasing this breakout. And again, not that it doesn't win. I still wouldn't recommend taking it. But let's just play that you sold this price. Let's draw it all the way across. You sell it on the bottom of that big red candle. Ideally, you do have a proper stop loss back inside the range above structure. So do you win? Yeah, it doesn't hit your stop. You know, you survive through that and you get back down here. Fair play. You could have made money on that. But the trader that waits for the pullback gets a little bit higher of a price, arguably a smarter stop loss, and can scalp this move down here, get the same amount of money, same risk reward, a lot less stressful because it moved into profit a lot quicker. It was a better stop loss. And the trader that had to sit through 40, 50 minutes of drawdown, maybe that took a toll on their mental patience, their discipline, breaking their rules, getting fidgety with it, wanting to close it, moving the stop loss to break even, whatever. So it's like if I could just get in and have less time to mess things up, the less chance there is I do mess up. So if I could just get in, get pure profit in 10 minutes, all right, it was hard for me to screw that up. But if I have to get in and sit through 40 minutes of chop, I start to question things. Am I going to take a big loss? Do I want to be in this still? What did I do this for, right? So I don't want to have any of that creep in, and I lower the chance of that by not taking those breakouts, right? So hopefully you guys see the power of breakouts. They pay sometimes, but honestly, any trade pays anytime, sometimes. So I want to find the consistent trades, and I know for me, it's off of VWAP. I have plenty of videos here on YouTube. And like I said, you guys can get all free access for your first month to ASFX TV. So click the link down below. You can study my full VWAP strategy. It's about 3 hours or so, and then watch the live streams where we take these trades and avoid the breakouts. You'll see so many times the first break come in. You could even see it here on that small markup. There's the break of opening range low. Not chasing that short. Comes back up, we want to long it. So tune in to get the live lessons as well. Take the trades with us. So I appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys take advantage. I'll see you guys on stream.